Teachers felt that Hornbeck's Keystone Declaration blamed them.
Because everybody in here has basically been besmirched in one way or another. My friends come up to me and go, what kind of school do you teach in? And this has been killing me.
Olney students responded. For 3 days in a row, they walked out of classes.
This school had a stranglehold in the Philadelphia media. It was in the newspapers, on just about every TV station. You couldn't get away from it.
And behind us right now, students are now forming a big union out in the middle of the street.
We understand that we're still being Keystone, but we didn't sit and take it spoon-fed. We did something about it. We worked together, and we stood together on this. We knew that this is not something that we wanted to happen.
Okay, here come the Olney students right now. They are marching down Front Street. They're chanting, "No Keystone." They're all marching together.
It happened anyway. Because we're only high school students, there's only so much we can do.
David Hornbeck came to Olney on the first day of the student walkout.
The reason I made the decision that I did last Thursday arises not from something that has happened in the last 6 months or the last year, but a history that exists here at Olney. The fact that not a single student ended up at a satisfactory level in reading or in math or in science. And the fact is, I'm not going to put up with that anymore. So that's the bottom line.
Down the hall from Hornbeck and the students, Ted Kirsch was talking to teachers.
So the question of why Olney? We believe that it's arbitrary, it's capricious, and it's a whole lot of other things. So the next question is, what's the union going to do about it? This morning, I instructed our attorney to go to court to seek a temporary injunction to stop the process. That's number one. Number two, we have filed an unfair labor practice.
Kirsch claimed that Hornbeck had kept the PFT out of the decision-making process and asked the State Labor Relations Board to overturn the Keystone decision.
We have no say in what is happening to us. And I think that's what's really ticking a lot of us off.
It's embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. We're on the news. We are constantly being like on the newspaper, the front of the newspaper Friday. That is so embarrassing. And it's like we've been here for 4 years, and now you're trying to tell us that we're not learning enough.
No, I'm saying to you that you haven't learned as much as you should, and that you can.
Do we even count?
No, I think that's fair, and I think that we ought to and we will work with you.
For some, Hornbeck's promise of communication came too late.
I would say it's something similar to where maybe a chef, you can't go into a kitchen, throw a bunch of food in a pot, say, here, that's soup. You gotta take the soup and you gotta make it slowly. You can't make a radical change and expect everybody to say, oh, I accept that, yeah, that's good.
You know, I'm not against change. Change is good. Involve the people you are going to change, hear their input, discuss, create a plan, and then everybody has ownership. Everybody feels like they're on the same page and they're moving together.
Hornbeck meets every month with parent organizations. In April, he defended his Keystone decision.
I expected, quite frankly, more people to say, why in the world did you wait so long? How could you possibly have let this go on as long as you did, instead of, why did you do this?
But my concern is that when there's a major decision made and parents were not included in that decision, then I have some concerns, because then that begins to tread on what I do and what I represent for parents.
But see, we're spending almost all of our time on the way it was done rather than getting on with change.
But Mr. Hornbeck, that is such a key point in terms of the language of children achieving says that there will be involvement, there will be consultation, there will be participation. And then when there is not, that's a fundamental betrayal of what people have been told.
If the observation is that we haven't gotten it all right, that's right. Betrayal, gosh, that's an awfully strong word.
Hornbeck's supporters rallied behind him.
It's impossible to argue with what David did. Given the record of performance of those schools, what else? You know, what else can you do?
Were I Dr. Hornbeck, I would have done exactly what he did, the way he did it, for the purposes that he did it for.
But had Hornbeck followed the rules?
The school superintendent violated every step along the way of the agreement that we had on the reconstitution of schools.
In May, the union and the school district presented their cases before an arbitrator. The PFT said that it had been excluded from the decision-making process. The district said the PFT had turned down an invitation to participate. Then they waited for a decision.